Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Black Ops 3 In Depth. In today's episode, I'm going to be showing you all of the Redwood wall run spots. There are a lot of hidden spots in this map that are not obvious. The first one I want to show you is pretty obvious. It's right off the spawn. You can see the walls, but did you know that you can jump to the tree and continue wall running? Unfortunately, you can't make it to the second tree, which kind of breaks up your chain, but here on In Depth, we like to pretend that the floor is lava, so I'm going to show you the exact same wall run spot, but the proper way to do it. The trick is instead of try to go tree to tree, you hit the other side, then you can bounce around to the rock wall, which is flat enough for you to run on, which then you can hit the second tree and go all the way around. I would like to point out that you can wall run off almost every single tree. I'll be showing you a few of the ones that you can't, and you can kind of 360 wall run around them, which is pretty crazy in my opinion. So the next wall run spot is considerably more difficult. You kind of have to hit these trees at almost perfect, like 90-degree angles, just like parallel to the pipe. You just kind of just barely glance past them, and you can chain off all of that, jump onto the stump, and then into the window, or you can chain off the building onto another tree. And I would like to point out that you are definitely going to need Afterburner for most of these to work. That's kind of a fun tree right there in the middle. It just kind of like a launch pad tree. Just the movement seems to accelerate you a little bit and throw you into the window, which I happen to like. However, you can hit this exact same tree from the other side, chain it onto the rock wall, which you can run on, and do the exact same path backwards. You'll see a little bit of the backwards and forwards in this map, but it is important to know them like the back of your hand because it is essential. Now let's chain together every single thing that we've learned, and I'm going to show you how to circumnavigate the map. Again, the trick with these trees is to just barely hit them on the side, kind of like you're a ninja, kind of like you're bouncing off of them, pushing off of them. Don't go for that side panel first. You have to push your backs to the right. Now you can chain off of all of these trees. This whole area is pretty much like a big bounce palace, and I'll show you some of that later. And I guess I can show you the secret underground route too. There's some underground panels you can run off. You can run off most of the rock walls pretty low down on the ground, and here we are circumnavigating the map. Now if you think that was interesting, wait until you see this. Now when I say all of the trees, these look like you can't wall run on them, but if you jump up high enough you actually can. However, there is a trick. This tree right here is a liar. You just cannot wall run off of this particular tree. It's an invisible wall and it pushes you off. So the proper way to do this is you come from the same little launch area. I've spent a lot of time in this area. You have to jump up super high, time your thrust packs just right, and you have to skip that tree and go all the way to the next one, and then you can chain off the next tree and probably keep on chaining if you want to, but I wanted to show you this little interior area where you can wall run infinitely, just kind of in circles, I guess, if you want to. If you really want to get the drop on people, if they're throwing not Molotov cocktails, it's thermite now in here. If it's full of gas, if it's going crazy with grenades, you can wall run. You can also take a shortcut around the back side of the map. You can kind of push yourself off the tree again to avoid the stairs and the obvious route. Same thing from the other side. You can just kind of push off the tree and slide directly into the room if I could aim my slide properly. The next bit's going to be a little bit more fun, and it's me showing off a little bit before I show you something new. So this whole area is a bounce palace. It's like a kid's playground. It's all made of trampolines. It's crazy. You can hit every tree, every wall. If you don't want to touch the ground, this is the area for you. You can do it infinitely. You can loop around. You can go high. You can go low. But there's something pretty cool on the other side that most people don't know that you can do with the trees. I almost screwed that tree up. So you have to hit them very particular. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of aiming. But I feel that if you want to be good at this game, mastering bouncing off of the trees, or at least on this particular map, is important. You want to hit these walls kind of high because you need as much elevation as you need. And if you get up high enough, you can actually wall run off of these trees and loop around all the way to the little creek in the back. And I kind of jumped in the water because I'm a derp. But speaking of water, if you don't like water, if you don't want to go under the water, navigate this area, you can attack on Titan style, kind of bounce off of these trees over to the other side. But there is a little invisible wall that pushes you out of the way, which of course you can chain into your off the tree and into the next room combo. Last one's a little bit more boring. I just wanted to show you that yes, you can run along the little man-made waterfall here and across the bridge, and even a little on the other side, but it's not very useful. Guys, that is all for this very first episode of Black Ops 3 In Depth. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And I'd like to give a huge shout out to Daniel Joseph Design, who made the intro for this particular series. I think it's a fantastic one, and that's part of the deal. He makes me an intro. I give him a shout out here on In Depth. So I would appreciate it if you would go click to visit his channel. He does free shout-outs, not free shout-outs, free intros, free giveaways for a lot of people. And the next episode is going to be on the infection wall run spots, which are also quite interesting. Drifter out.